If you were old enough to have memories of the early to late 2000s, you remember seeing Jackass or something Jackass related. Whether it was the original run and reruns of the show, one of the multiple movies that are still being made today, one of the multiple spin-offs, or Jackass the game. As a pretty big Jackass fan back in the day, I somehow never knew this game existed until I was looking through RetroAchievements trying to find something to play. But as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to make a video on it. Looking over the achievements, this is a straightforward set that runs you through pretty much everything that the game has to offer. 100% the story mode, complete all of the goals in challenge mode, and purchase all of the unlockables. We have a whopping 146 achievements to earn, so let's get started. Starting with the MTV story mode, basically Jeff Tremaine, who is the original director, has sprained his lady parts, according to Mr. Knoxville here.
And the idiot dropped the camera too! Thanks a lot!
So we take over as the director for the new season of Jackass, in charge of getting enough footage for each of the 7 episodes.
And now we need a new director because that one broke the camera! And sprained his vagina in the process.
The way we do that is to play all of the 5 mini-games per episode and complete each goal, destroy items, and injure ourselves as much as we possibly can to earn revenue. We start here with Pachinko Precipice. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hold on. Oh, there we go. That's better. We start here with Pachinko Precipice, sending Steve-O careening down a hillside and getting beat all to hell, which is a trend in most of these games. You can see the goal system here. We complete 2 of them this run, one for hitting a mattress, and one for getting over $100,000 in injuries. We earned $147,000 from injuries and completed 2 goals for $30,000 apiece, and that's the entire game. It's pretty simple, but it's pretty fun too. Now that we see how the game works, it's time to focus on the goals. There are 2 achievements tied to games like this for completing 3 and 5 goals. I went for all 5 goals before I moved to the next game, so we go ahead and replay, knock out the other 3 goals in one run, earning those 2 achievements for this game. Next up is our first Wii game, which I guess can be considered a mini game. Here we have a shuffleboard type game where we have to tap X to accelerate and hit square to stop before we fly off the end of the rooftop. I said before we fly off. I said before we fly off. That's more like it, but we gotta do better than that. Nope. Good lord. Now you're just scared. Now you're not scared enough. Jesus Christmas, that took so much longer than it should have. Also, we only get 1 achievement for a Wii game since there aren't really any goals. I like how all of the games have an intro cutscene reminiscent of the show. The cast members did both voiceovers and motion capture for the game, and all of the cast is present except for Bam due to his contract with Activision. But now let's jump into some suburban wakeboarding. Grinding on moving cars, destroying mailboxes, and earning enough money to unlock the next episode. Grinding fences and absolutely obliterating the side of this RV with Steve-O's face. Now we go back and knock over 5 trash cans to finish this game off. Thankfully, the next game was made before jiggle physics became a common thing. If you've seen Jackass, you've seen Party Boy, and what better way to bring him into the game than a nice rhythm game section? It feels like every game that I play has at least some form of rhythm section, and I swear I don't even know it when I pick the game. Anyway, based on the comments on Retro Achievements and the fact that the 2 least earned achievements for this game are the 2 for the Party Boy challenge modes, this is the hardest one in the game. I had no problem with beating it here. I did struggle just a bit in challenge mode, but we'll get to that later. Next is Golf Rally, and to be honest, any of the games that involve driving or riding anything are some of my least favorites, just because of how they control. As you can see, the steering is just a little touchy. We get the airtime that we need and grab all 9 flags on our first run. On run 2, we run over the 5 attendants and bail into one of their huts. And then on run 3, we get our injuries and move on to the next episode. There are cutscenes between every episode, but none of them really matter. Most of it's just the usual Jackass nonsense. Suburban Catapult is next. All of these goals are based on hitting things, such as the trunk of this car, which was a damn lucky start for me. This one is a little bit annoying simply because the goals have to be done one at a time, and it's a lot of trial and error to get the right strength. But after a few trial runs, we land in the pool, on the greenhouse, smash 2 objects, and go 10 yards after landing. Next, we jump off of a skyscraper into a big pile of elephant shit. Normal Saturday night behavior for me. For this one, you have to input button combinations before you hit the ground. I'm not sure what the scoring system is for this, but I got enough points, so I don't really care, I guess. Here's another one of my least favorite game types, one of those classic 4-person knock everyone else off the platform games that are always included in party games. My first attempt went very well, as did my second. But after getting used to the awful camera and controls, I managed to knock someone off with someone else's ball, although I'm really not sure how that happened here, and be the last man standing. After that, I run a lap around the rooftop and then bail off to get 100,000 in injuries, earning enough to unlock episode 3. Then I spend legitimately a full minute and a half trying to knock off a flag because I'm a stubborn dumbass and kept trying to get the one straight behind me. But I finally get it and move on from my stupidity. Now let's pull Steve-O into a pool of shit that resembles the inside of my head. On this one, we just have to put in a couple of button combinations and mash X once the bar is full. Next, we have Demolition Golf, where we hit grenades with a golf club into the windows of a house. And I read that the Jackass crew helped the developers come up with the stunts for this game, and I almost guarantee this is something that BAM had brought up to them to do to Phil and April's house. Anyway, this one is pretty easy. Just aim at the windows and press X to start the bar, set the power, and set the accuracy. We destroy the house, the garage, and scare the Jackass crew all on the last shot. And on run 2, we destroy the car by missing the bars to the right side. Then we try to destroy the house with ourselves, but this is the point where I learned that the grenades had a timer. But we finally get it. Snowjob has us rolling around in a big snowball, sucking everything and everyone up like we're playing Katamari. I think. I've never played it. This may be the game that I had the most trouble with as far as the story mode goals go. I got the 5 snowboarders on my first run. Then after a couple more, I got the 3 snowmobiles and learned that I can also grab the trees and stuff around the track. With that knowledge, I got a 20-foot snowball. Then I completed a run without hitting anything. After another 4 runs, only finding 2 cabins, my dumbass realized that there was a whole other route to take. Now we beat the shit out of Wee Men with a wiffle bat, and this one is easy. You only have 30 seconds, but every 5 hits in a row buys you 10 more seconds. I only got it by 2 points, but a win is a win. The junkyard has us running around trying to avoid getting Johnny's ass cheeks chewed on by some junkyard dogs. Unfortunately for Johnny, I'm the one controlling him, so our first attempt ends in him getting mauled by 3 dogs at once. However, after that initial failure, we do collect 3 bones without getting bitten. Collect 6 total. And then get our ass chewed on some more. Next run, we feed meat that's not from our ass cheeks to 5 dogs. Use the crane to crush the car on the outside of the map. And bail into a doghouse to finish this one off. Thank you and your ass cheeks for your sacrifice, Johnny. Extreme juggling was simple, even though my first attempt was a pathetic one. As long as you can get the balls spaced out pretty evenly, it's not bad at all. By the way, is it just me or does Wee Man's character model look absolutely horrifying? If you thought suburban wakeboarding was fun, wait until you see its Dom counterpart, urban wakeboarding. The goals are similar. We start with hitting 10 parking meters and unlocking episode 4. By the way, at this point in the game, I noticed the character in the corner of the screen changes as you take damage, just like in the old Doom games. I thought that was a pretty cool reference. Anyway, we eat shit and accomplish absolutely nothing else on the first run. On our second, we hit 3 couriers and just barely destroy the taxi signs. And on run 3, we destroy the police light and bail into the subway to finish this episode off. And here is the one game on here that I absolutely hate. It combines my dislike of the driving controls and the rooftop knock everyone off bullshit. First run went well. Second run went even better. The third run led to destroying all of the objects and then ended fantastically. We destroy the gargoyles, and, you know, after rewatching this, I don't know how the hell I was so bad at this. I mean, this is honestly embarrassing. I launched myself at the MTV billboard so I can at least feel like I'm accomplishing something as I fall to my death. And then in protest of failure in the next run, I finally get last man standing and expertly bail into the Jackass billboard to finish this one off. Unfortunately, I will spend a lot more time on this game later. Oddly Shaped Shooting is the next Wii game, and unfortunately there just isn't a lot to say about these. This one is just shooting Preston and Wee Man as they jump over the fence. I feel like I always just barely score enough to pass these. Super Bold is easy as long as you're not an idiot like me. You use L1 and R1 to tilt the screen and move, but for some reason my brain kept thinking that it was inverted, so I kept going the opposite direction that I wanted to. But once I learned to only use 50% of my stupidity instead of 100%, I roll through 3 archways and hit 10 pins, and that unlocks episode 5. Next we smash 6 signs and bail through an archway before struggling to figure out the last objective, travel 50 yards above the street, and it took me forever to figure out what the hell this meant. I tried going as fast as I could to fly over the intersections, bailing and trying to stay in the air, and I got nothing. It wasn't until I gave up and did a little bit of research that I found out you have to hit the lampposts and roll across the awnings. The funny thing is that I did this exact thing in the first run and I didn't even notice it. But whatever, I did it and that's all that matters. Next we have Wii Hand, which is just what I've always known as 5-finger fillet. This game kind of sucks. I found it hard to tell where the knife was over Steve-O's hand, but the basics are you get 1 point per knife hit and a 10-point bonus for a hit between each finger all the way across. It took me forever, but I finally got the 150 points. Unfortunately, the challenge mode goal is 225, so I will spend a whole lot more time doing this. The last game of this episode is New York Pogo, a race across rooftops. You press X when you land and the bar is full. At least I think that's how you do it. I immediately get a 10-foot jump and then I started struggling. It was either I was simply too slow, tried risky jumps that I missed, or got knocked off by these other assholes. I finally won a race, and now we can look at the other goals. We break 4 skylights, 4 antennas, and bail into the neon sign to end the episode. Goal 4 consists of capturing flags, hitting the other carts, and avoiding being hit yourself. On our first run, we disable another cart and steal 2 flags. On run 2, we grab the majority of the flags and run away from everyone so that we can win, and win after being disabled. And then we disable someone with a bailout. Next up is Egg Gulp, and it's just another simple Wii game. Tap X to chew, and then tap O to swallow until you fill the bar up and puke and fill up all the buckets. Heart Jam has us hauling ass down the hill on a shopping cart. I struggled with the controls yet again at first, but I did finish without getting punched. Then we knock out the trash cans and win the next race. Then we punch someone twice and slide 50 yards down the asphalt. Boo shower wasn't too bad once I figured out to move the umbrella early in preparation for the fallen shit. Grenade golf is the same controls as the one of the house, but now we're at a driving range. We destroy the ball collector in one hit, which is funny because I struggled with this one in the challenge mode really hard. We destroy the truck, destroy 4 items, and bail further than 200 yards. I had a hard time with destroying 2 objects at once. From what I can tell, this sign and pole are the easiest ones to do it with. You just have to make sure that your shot has perfect placement. But with that done, we move to episode 6. Roof race puts us in our bumper car driving across some rooftops. We do a 30-foot jump, and we easily win on our first. How the hell am I so bad at this? We actually do win our second try, but only just barely. After that, we can focus on, as I was saying, we can focus on breaking objects, busting through billboards, and bailing into water towers. Wii Tattoo might be the easiest game out of all of them. All you have to do is get ink on the lines in any capacity. Accuracy does not matter at all. Although my skull does look pretty good, doesn't it? Groundwater rafting is exactly what it sounds like. We're rafting down a shit river, fighting time, a deflating raft, and the worst controls in the game by far. But even with all that against us, we make it through the gator room without getting attacked, and finish before our raft deflates. Though I'm really not sure how you could not get that with how slow it deflates. But anyway, on our next run, we take 2 shortcuts, grab 10 floating turds, and then bail out the finish line to win this one. Shoot Johnny is just that, shooting targets that appear on Johnny as he spins on a wheel. I found this one very easy. We unlock episode 7 and beat all the score goals. Fridge Racer is, well, a race on a fridge. The controls are shitty once again, but we do win our first race. We bail over 100 yards, wipe out another racer, though I'm really not sure how this one counted. Destroy 6 signs, and after several attempts, knock off an RV antenna. Starting out the final episode set of games is Backyard Race, which is actually one of my favorites. On our first run, we wait until the end of lap 2 to let everyone pass us, which leads to getting the win and winning after starting lap 3 in last place. Next, we let another cart hit our golf bag, hit 8 trash cans, and then bail into the pool. Short Fighter has us beating the shit out of this car with Wee Man, but it's just about hitting X at the right time. We get it no problem, as with every other Wii game. Next is Extreme Unicycling, and I absolutely hated this one. You have to balance your way through a set track, jumping over some barrels and trying not to fall, which was far easier said than done for me. We take an alternate route, which is done by leaning to one side at a fork. We finish the track, balance in the red zone for 3 seconds, jump over 5 barrels, and bail into a trash chute. Next we have Rock, Paper, Nuts. Not a lot to explain. As you see Steve-O's hand come down slowly, you pick the winning move. Nothing really interesting here, but we get enough footage to now release the new season. Our last game is San Fran Trash Can. We managed to reach the bottom on the first run, surprisingly so. skid across the road for 40 yards, destroy a fire hydrant, finish a run without hitting anything, and roll under 2 trucks. And we are done with story mode. Pretty enjoyable experience outside of a couple of moments, really. Unfortunately, now we have to go to challenge mode, which holds a lot more unenjoyable moments than the story mode did. Challenge mode consists of the same list of games as a story mode, this time with 3 new goals and an achievement tied to completing each goal. Since we've already seen these games once, I'm not going to go into detail unless something interesting comes up. Starting at the top of the list with Backyard Racer, we finish in under 70 seconds, finish without hitting a wall, which I just let the other carts in front of me go to break through the track first lap, and bail into 2 trash cans. We go to Big Balls and bail into a water tower, win the game in under a minute, and then we have a very annoying one. Run a lap around the outside of the rooftop. Between the awful camera angle, I mean, look at this shit. My inability to steer, and the AI's interest in knocking me off, this took me forever. Okay, it only took 6 minutes, but it really felt like forever. Now on to Brown Water Rafting, which is still just a really bad game. I didn't struggle with any of these challenges, I just hated playing it. We finish a race in under a minute and with more than 40% air. And we bail into a whirlpool, and I never have to play this literal shit game again. Bumper Kings was... yeah, no. Kart Racers has us finish a race under 65 seconds, but only barely. Knock down 8 trash cans, and bail into a pothole. Demolition Golf is piss easy. We go ahead and destroy the car with Steve-O's head, hit the weather vane, and destroy the house in 7 shots. The Wii games just require a higher score than the story mode. Nothing special. Egg Gulp was about as easy as it gets. Elephant Poo Dive was easy too. Basically, the Wii games just require you to not mess up, which is fairly simple for most of them. Extreme Juggling is a bit more difficult. If you can get 5 balls going at once, and especially if you can do like I did and get 6 going for just a little bit, the 10,000 points is nothing. And now we have... oh god, not this shit again. Actually, it wasn't that bad this time around. We managed to finish without going into the red on our first try. According to Raging Mammoth's comment on RetroAchievements, moving the cursor over the middle of the bar repeatedly keeps your speed up. Neither of us actually know if it does anything, but I finished in 58 seconds, so... well, that's something I normally don't have a problem with. Moving on. Then we hit 3 girders in 1 bale. Again, thanks to Raging Mammoth for the quickest and easiest way to do it. Now let's go to the shop to spend some of our hard-earned cash. I buy the Porta-Shitter since Fridge Racer is coming up next, and then get Hell on Wheels for buying all carts and bumper cars. We spend the rest of our money, but we'll have to come back later to finish those achievements off. Now we can hop onto the shitter and start racing. I still can't control this thing at all, but after a couple of fails, I remember that I'm a professional at finishing quickly and win in under 65 seconds. Then I gained some amount of skill and managed to win another one without getting hit. It took me a few times to even find the cabin I was supposed to bail into, but it turns out it was at the end of a shortcut that I hadn't taken yet. Using my newly found skill, I jump into Golf Rally and start grabbing flag. Oh, come the fuck. Like I was saying, we grab all of the flags in under 75 seconds, destroy all the decorations, and elbow drop an attendant. We immediately jump to Golf Wars since our kart skills are heated up, and grab 3 flags without stealing any, disable all other karts in one game, and finish with 7 flags. Demolition Golf is a little annoying. If you remember, in the story mode, I landed a direct hit on the ball collector on my very first swing. Well, when I actually have a goal to do that, it took me almost 5 minutes. But I finally managed it, and then I destroy 5 lights, and then I destroy the ball carrier again, this time with myself. Meat Man is next, and once again, it's Johnny's ass cheek meat in danger. We go ahead and trap a dog with the crane and bail into the trunk of this car, and then grab 8 bones in a minute while Johnny gets his ass chewed on again. New York Pogo is back, and this time we do a little climbing, do a little destroying, and do a little winning. Oddly shaped shooting is one that I thought would give me trouble, but I managed to do it first try by kind of just hovering around the middle of the screen and just getting several hits on Wee Man. Pachinko Precipice makes its long-awaited return, and it has what seems to be considered one of the more annoying challenges. It ain't hitting cacti, and it ain't not hitting rocks. It's getting less than 15,000 in injuries. I tried this a few times and basically found that if you get more than 3 total injuries, just go ahead and restart. The way that I did it was using the rocks and flat spots to slow down. And the most crucial part is at the very end, use this mattress to stop your speed and make sure you hit the water when you go off the end. Now we're at the 2 least earned achievements in the game, and I can understand why. I didn't find it particularly difficult considering I've been playing rhythm games since I was 8, but even then there is an amount of delay between the button prompt and the beat that can really make it hard as you get further into the song. My one tip is to mute the game audio and just focus on the buttons. Using that strategy, I got Party Boy 1 on the second try and Party Boy 2 on the first try. Now that we've built up some more money, we head back to the store and finish buying the rest of the props and both costumes. I thought for sure that Poo Shower was going to give me trouble, but it only took 2 tries. You just have to make sure that you aim your umbrella early enough to block the barrage of shit coming down. Poo Tug went exactly as it did in the story mode. Nothing of interest here at all. And the same thing can be said for Rock, Paper, Nuts. Just win 6 of the 7 rounds. Roof Race held a bit more of a challenge. Old habits never die, I guess. Either way, we apparently knocked someone off the rooftop and win in under 55 seconds after taking some shortcuts and bail into the target billboard. As with the last few Wii games, Rooftop Cart Stop stays the same. You just have to win all 7 rounds. San Fran Trash Can has us finishing under a minute. Get hit by a car 3 times in 5 seconds, completely accidentally, mind you. And fly more than 60 yards in the air with one hell of a slam on the asphalt, if I might add. Shoot Johnny is just a little bit harder this time, but only just barely. Short Fighter is another Wii game that has a tighter time limit that doesn't really change anything. But my god, after a few easy ones, Snow Job was here to give me a challenge, requiring me to pick up 50 objects and make a 25-foot snowball, which basically go hand in hand. It took me a few tries to get the 25 feet, but it took me 10 minutes to get the 50 objects. Unfortunately, I did not see Raging Mammoth's comments showing the route that they took. After all of that, we destroy our snowball and finish this one. Suburban Catapult is somewhat annoying too, though I'm not sure if that's anything to do with the game or just me being bad. But once I do get it right, I manage to land on the truck and destroy 4 objects in one go. Then we get the cement mixer right after. Suburban Wakeboarding was a breeze. We destroy an entire neighborhood of mailboxes, bail into 2 more of those mailboxes, and then get our shit absolutely rocked by this car and rack up $50,000 worth of injuries. We take a quick trip back to the store and grab the last of the slideshows, and spend the rest of the money that we have on some movies. We're back to poorly controlling this big-ass hamster ball, though I managed to knock over all of the pins no problem. But not touching any arches is a different story. We eventually get that too, and then we send Johnny flying away to finish this one off. Urban wakeboarding wasn't too hard. We take out a mailbox, grind a bus roof, although that looked more like I rubbed it up against the window. But we actually do grind it to stay off the ground for 5 seconds. Wii hand. This piece of shit almost had me throwing my entire setup through the window. 225 points is a ridiculous score for this, and I spent 20 minutes straight and probably 60 or more tries before I finally got it. I'll play the full clip behind me of me beating it, but the only tip I can give is spam as many hits as you can on the ends and only doing combos when the knife is at the top of his fingers. But for me, it was already hard enough to tell where the knife was at in regards to the fingers that when it got fast, I was really just banking on luck. Wii Tattoo is still really easy, although my rendition of Steve-O's face didn't quite turn out as good as the skull did. Whack-A-Wee Man seemed harder than it was. As long as you can get the 5-hit combos to keep extending the time, you're good. I messed up several times and I still got it. And unfortunately, we are left with Bumper Kings as the last game. This was a miserable experience that took an hour over the 2 sessions that I played it. The best advice I can give for winning in 40 seconds is to hang out in the middle and take hits to build your boost and then send someone off with your boost.
Okay, let's do it.
Destroying the gargoyles is easy to do once you get rid of everyone else. And as far as knocking someone off in reverse, just get close to them on the edge and hope for the best, because that's exactly what I did. And now that we've completed all the challenges, we're down to 1 achievement left, but not the $1.5 million to do it. And we have to go hurt ourselves some more to earn what we need. The easiest way to do that is to hit square to bring up the goals list for a game and check your bailout score. For example, I had 9,000 on Backyard Race, but after a quick deck eating example, we now have 87,000. We spend the next 20 minutes racking up hospital bills until we have what we need. And we head to the store to buy our last 3 movies and unlock our last achievement and earn the mastery. I have to admit, I had a pretty good time with this one. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it turned out to be one of the more enjoyable games that I've played on this channel, although it isn't an extensive list so far. The games were fun, the challenges were definitely Jackass inspired, and having the original crew be a part of the game's development, from giving ideas for the stunts to providing mocap and voiceover, really made it feel true to the real thing. With all of that being said, Jackass the game on PlayStation 2 gets a silver medal, just below Burnout 2. Thank you to everyone that's made it this far. If there is a game that you think I should play, feel free to suggest it. I'm making it a true effort to really get through some games this year, both childhood favorites and ones that I've never played before. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.